Well, good morning everyone. Buenos días y bienvenidos. Todos los que vamos a presentar vamos a hablar en inglés y en español, así que welcome. Primero que nada, my name is Matías Bernal and I'm the Executive Director of the Education and Leadership Foundation. As a DACA recipient myself, it is my honor to celebrate the 10th anniversary of DACA with you. We could not have been able to make it this last 10 years without the Central Valley DACA Collaborative. The collaborative is made of local immigration rights organizations and legal service providers like ELF, Immigration Legal Resource Center, Services Immigrant Rights and Education Network, SIREN, Centro La Familia Advocacy Services, y Central Valley Immigration Integration Collaborative, CIVIC. We are here to highlight the importance of the DACA program and the work that DACA recipients have provided to our community. We will hear from an expert on the current status of DACA and the uncertain future it faces with the legal challenges that threaten the very program that we are here to celebrate. We will have a few DACA recipients share their stories with you and the impact this program has made in their lives and the lives of their families. In addition, we will invite two speakers to share what it would mean for them to qualify for DACA that under the current injunction of a Texas court are not able to apply. We want to take today as an opportunity to remember the 10 years of DACA, but we also want to take today as an opportunity to highlight that DACA was never meant to be a solution, a permanent solution. It was meant to be a step in the right direction. Buenos días, mi nombre es Matías Bernal y soy el director ejecutivo de la Fundación de Educación y Liderazgo. Como beneficiario de DACA, es un honor para mí celebrar con ustedes el 10º aniversario de este programa. No pudiéramos haber llegado a estos 10 años sin la colaboración de DACA del Valle Central. La colaborativa está formada por organizaciones locales de derechos de inmigrantes y proveedores de servicios legales como ELF, Immigration Legal Resource Center, Services Immigrant Rights and Education Network, Centro La Familia Advocacy Center y Central Valley Immigration Integration Collaborative. Estamos aquí para resaltar la importancia del programa de DACA y el trabajo que los beneficiarios de DACA han brindado a nuestra comunidad por los últimos 10 años. Escucharemos de un experto sobre el estado actual de DACA y el futuro incierto a medida que afrenta desafíos legales que amenazan el mismo programa que estamos aquí para celebrar. Algunos beneficiarios compartirán sus historias con nosotros y el impacto que este programa ha tenido en su vida durante los últimos 10 años. Además, invitaremos a oradores que no calificaron para DACA y lo que significaría para ellos poder tener una oportunidad como DACA. Les recuerdo que aunque estamos celebrando 10 años del programa de DACA, DACA no era una solución permanente. Era un paso en la dirección correcta para resolver el problema migratorio que nos afecta a todos. Así que aunque celebramos los 10 años, pedimos hoy que se enfoque una solución permanente para todos. Con esto, le doy la bienvenida a Olga Grush de Pacifica Immigration Law Group. So welcome me in joining Olga Grush from Pacifica Immigration Law Group.
DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, turns 10 years old today. But deferred action is much older than that. It is an essential policy of our immigration system that the government can prioritize some removal cases over others. This is not a law, but a policy that allows the executive branch of the government to focus on the most egregious violators instead of spending limited time and resources on those who pose no harm and even benefit our society. And so in June of 2012, DACA announced a registration program for children who graduated or were attending school and who had no criminal record. This process has to be renewed every 2 years, and provides authorization to lawfully work. It is not a handout. It comes with a staggering $495 filing fee that still keeps many eligible children from applying. But around 800,000 children did apply throughout the entire United States. To give you a perspective, 800,000 is less than the population of Fresno County alone. And we are talking about 800,000 children throughout the entire country. And these dreamers have made absolutely wonderful contributions to our entire nation. And now DACA is at risk. Some states claim that the program did not meet administrative requirements and filed a lawsuit to ban the entire program. These administrative problems have been fixed, but the lawsuit persists. On July 6th, during oral arguments in the Fifth Circuit, we will get a better glimpse of the judge's thinking and intent of what will happen to the DACA program. But it is possible that the Fifth Circuit may ban new DACA applications permanently, as well as DACA renewals, which have been allowed since the lawsuit was initially filed in 2015. This is where we are. The program may be completely canceled, not only for the youth who qualify and have not yet been able to apply, but also for those 800,000 dreamers who have used this benefit and relied upon it over the last 10 years, not only to build their own lives, but also to embetter and empower our nation. They were doctors and nurses on the COVID front lines in hospitals. They are amazing community workers, like so many of the dreamers behind me who have worked tirelessly to better our community. They are everyday children who have now become young adults who better our country. Whatever the outcome of the case that will be argued on July 6th, it will likely be appealed to the Supreme Court of the United States. Once again, the case has already been there and been sent back. Now it is in the Fifth Circuit. And whatever the outcome, we will see this case in the Supreme Court again. And the Supreme Court will then decide the fate of our 800,000 dreamers. My name is Olga Grash. I am an immigrant, and I wholeheartedly support DACA. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. I want to take a minute to thank all the media for joining us today, as well as some representatives from Dr. Arambula's office who are with us today. As Olga mentioned, DACA recipients are doctors, lawyers, leaders, teachers, nurses, in every walks of life. So chances are you know a few. And I would love to introduce you to one who works at the Education and Leadership Foundation, Gregorio Matias Sebastian.
Hello, my name is Gregorio Matias Sebastian. I currently work at the Education and Leadership Foundation. I'm the Director of Immigration Services. In addition to that, I'm also an accredited representative, which is an accreditation that a non-attorney gets from the U.S. Department of the U.S. government in order to provide legal services to individuals across the nation. DACA has meant a lot to me. He has allowed me to work legally in the U.S., to travel freely without the fear of deportation, and also having a steady income. Not only that, but thanks to the work authorization um, that the DACA program has allowed me to get, is to be able to become an active member of the community, to support them as a DOJ accredited representative. I'm able to provide legal services to individuals like green card holders who want to become U.S. citizens, DACA recipients who want to see their family members, for instance, um, to see them and who they haven't seen in decades, usually through the humanitarian reasons or employment reasons or education reasons. They would be able to travel outside of the U.S. We also are able to help U.S. citizens, permanent residents, become U.S. citizens so that they can become active members of society and get involved in such as votings, and anything that they see fit. Thank you. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Gregorio Matías. Yo actualmente trabajo en la Fundación de Educación y Liderazgo aquí en Fresno, el cual es una organización no lucrativa que ofrece servicios legales a la comunidad en el Valle Central. La educación y liderazgo está acreditada por el Departamento de Justicia de Estados Unidos para proveer servicio legal, y sus representantes como yo estoy acreditado para proveer estos servicios legales. Nosotros le damos servicios como ayudar a personas en obtener su residencia, en convertirse en ciudadanos, a los beneficiarios de la acción diferida, ayudarlos con renovar. A las personas que tienen DACA también les asistimos con obtener permiso de viaje para que ellos visiten a sus familiares que no han visto hace décadas. Entonces es muy importante ese servicio. La Fundación de Educación y Liderazgo también ayuda a los residentes permanentes y sus familiares para emigrarlos y para que ellos se conviertan en ciudadanos de Estados Unidos y sean partícipe activos en la comunidad, tales como cuando se convierten en ciudadanos, sean activos que participen en votar para sus representantes en este país. Gracias.
Thank you, Gregorio. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Meza Torres from Siren.
Do you mind? Hello, my name is Elizabeth Meza Torres, and this month I graduated from UC Merced with a double major in political science and Spanish. I am proud to share that I'm an older sister of 5, a first-generation college student, and a daughter of farm workers from Delano, California. Thank you. For the past 7 years, I have had the privilege to have the title of a DACA recipient. However, having this privilege does not make me a citizen. I am still undocumented. Currently, I'm studying for the LSAT and navigating my way as I apply for law school. Despite graduating with high honors, working 2 jobs, and being constantly involved at UC Merced, I'm still afraid that I won't have the financial means to get myself through law school. I excelled in everything except the one qualification that I had no control over, my status. Most of the loans for law school require a U.S. cosigner. I have no one in my immediate or external family who is a U.S. citizen. So I worry. I worry that my future is in limbo. I worry that DACA is headed to the Court of Appeals this July. I worry that I will lose everything after not just 10 years, but decades of fighting. But the worst part is, I am not the only individual whose life is in limbo. According to the Migration Policy Institute, there's roughly 612 active DACA recipients and 1,160,000 eligible recipients who are ineligible to apply due to Texas versus United States decision. There are hundreds of thousands of applications from scholars who have a story just like mine. So as we stand here today and we celebrate the 10 years of DACA, we must also recognize the inconsistencies and the impact that this program has on beneficiaries' mental health. How many more times do I have to hear that the program is back in the courts? How many more times does someone have to come before you and cry as they share their narrative and still not be heard? How many more tears need to be documented before our senators, our representatives, and the Biden administration hears us? Being undocumented has caused my community to be criminalized, judged, disrespected, and ignored. But we are here to stay. We are home, and we're going to keep fighting until our voices are heard. With that, I would like to thank organizations such as Siren, Civic, ELF, Centro La Familia, and so many other nonprofits that provide low-income communities resources. But there is more that can be done, and our representatives need to act. To our senators, representatives, and the current Biden administration, and the individuals in the building behind us, I would like to say that we are tired. I am tired. We have spent the past 10 years of our lives in limbo, and I am here to ask for an immigration reform. I'm here to ask for change. Thank you. And now I'm going to say it in Spanish. Mi nombre es Elizabeth Meza Torres y hace un mes me gradué de la Universidad de UC Merced y me especialicé en ciencias políticas y el español. Estoy orgullosa de compartir que soy una hermana mayor de una familia de 7, una graduada universitaria de primera generación y una hija de trabajadores agrícolas de aquí, de Delano, California, y tengo DACA. Durante los últimos 7 años he tenido el privilegio de ser una recipiente de DACA. Sin embargo, al fin del día estoy indocumentada. Actualmente estoy estudiando para el examen de ley y navegando por mi camino mientras solicito a la Escuela de Derecho este otoño. A pesar de graduarme con honores, trabajar 2 trabajos durante mis 4 años y participar en mi escuela, no califico para la mayoría de becas para financiar la escuela de Derecho debido a mi estatus. Me he sobresalido en todo menos en la única calificación que no puedo controlar, mi estatus. La mayoría de los préstamos para la escuela del derecho requieren un confirmante ciudadano de los Estados Unidos. Como alguien que no tiene un miembro de la familia que me puede firmar para las becas, tengo miedo. Tengo miedo y me preocupa que puedo perder todo después de 10 años de seguir peleando por DACA. Lo peor es que yo no soy la única en esta posición. Según el Instituto de Políticas Migratorias, hay aproximadamente 602,000 receptores de DACA y 1,000,000 receptores elegibles que no son elegibles por la decisión de Texas. Hoy cientos de miles de solicitudes de estudiantes que tienen una historia como la mía. Su vida fue puesta en pausa después de la decisión de DACA. Así que, tal como estamos hoy aquí celebrando 10 años de DACA, también debemos reconocer el impacto que este programa ha tenido en la salud mental de nuestros estudiantes. ¿Cuántas veces tengo que escuchar que el programa ha regresado a las cortes? ¿Cuántos estudiantes indocumentados necesitan relevar sus historias y esperar ser escuchados? ¿Cuántas lágrimas más necesitan ser documentadas para que nuestros senadores, representantes o la administración de Biden nos escuchen? Ser indocumentada ha hecho que mi comunidad sea criminalizada, juzgada e ignorada. Pero estamos aquí para quedarnos. Estamos en casa y vamos a seguir luchando hasta que nos escuchen. Con eso les quiero dar las gracias a Siren, Civic, ELF y Centro La Familia y otras organizaciones sin fines de lucro que ofrecen recursos a las comunidades de bajos ingresos. Pero hay más que hacer y nosotros y nuestros representantes tienen que actuar ahora. A nuestros senadores, representantes y la administración de Biden, escúchenme cuando les digo que estamos cansados. Hemos pasado los últimos 10 años y décadas de nuestras vidas en limbo. Estamos aquí para pedir una reforma migratoria ahora. Estoy aquí para pedir cambio. Gracias.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Please join me in welcoming Gustavo Gasca.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gustavo Gomez, and I am Immigration Outreach Specialist with Education and Leadership Foundation. I want to thank all of you for coming out, and I want to recognize all of the organizations that have provided this space: Education Leadership Foundation, Civic, Siren, Centro La Familia, and ILRC. Thank you so much for all of you for all your support. I appreciate it. I know everyone behind me also appreciates it. To begin, uh, it wasn't until recently that I came out publicly as being a DACA recipient because 10 years ago, I was 20. And sure, I was younger, I was beautiful, but I think that having to deal with this for all of my childhood, it really impacted me. And it wasn't until I could see that there is support within our community. I'll keep things brief because I know everybody has other things that warrant their attention. And I just want to thank everyone. I know that if our stories are heard, we'll have that support and we'll have people that didn't know that they were allies that'll come out and they'll ally with us and implore their elected representatives. Just last week, it was another reminder of the limited voice that DACA recipients have. When people were out casting votes or not casting votes, I didn't have that privilege. My sliver of privilege should be extended to all undocumented. And that's what I think ultimately we're all asking for. Thank you so much. Ahora en español. Ahora me llamo Gustavo Gasca Gómez y soy empleado de la Fundación de Educación y Liderazgo como alcance. En este momento les quiero comentar que mi propia historia ha tenido propias batallas desde hace los 10 años cuando se implementó el programa de DACA. Pues estaba más joven, tenía 20 años, estaba más bello, pero lo que pasa es que no tenía esa confianza de decir mi estatus, de platicar de quién era, quién soy, sin el apoyo de las organizaciones que están aquí alrededor, de la Fundación de Educación y Liderazgo, de Civic, de ILRC, de Centro La Familia, de Siren. Agradezco bastantemente su apoyo y el apoyo que le da a la comunidad. Les quiero decir que todos los que estamos aquí en esta posición de pedir su ayuda a los ciudadanos, a nuestros amigos, nuestras familias, nosotros estamos dependientes de su apoyo para poder decirle, pedirle a los representantes electos que nos den una oportunidad más permanente para poder lograr más con lo que podemos hacer. Muchas gracias por su tiempo. Agradezco todo el apoyo y que tengan un buen día.
Thank you, Gustavo. Please join me in welcoming Shayla Castillo from Siren.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank all of the organizers for making this event possible and for creating the space for folks like myself to share their testimonies. My name is Shayla Castillo. I am an Immigration Program Associate and Department of Justice Representative at Siren. I am also a daughter, a sister, a first-generation college graduate, and a DACA recipient. My identity has been designed around the roles I hold within my family and my community. It is not solely defined by my immigration status. I have DACA for 6 years now, and actually Gregorio, who spoke right before, representing ELF, helped me file my first initial DACA application back in 2017. I'm not sure if he remembers, but I sure do, because DACA has helped pave the way for many opportunities in my educational and vocational career. I was able to graduate from a 4-year university and work at a place where in turn I can help others in my community. I help lead our monthly DACA renewal clinics where we offer application and financial assistance to those wanting to renew their DACA. DACA has opened many doors for people like myself and my colleagues who spoke today, as you have already heard. But it would be a mistake to ignore my brothers and sisters who do not qualify for DACA, or those who qualified but because of the Texas judge ruling back in 2021, which paused the DACA program, received false hope of getting a work permit, or more so, all 11 million undocumented immigrants who live in the U.S. hoping that one day Congress will think of them. DACA is like ibuprofen for a fractured ankle. Ibuprofen is only a temporary solution to something more serious. Something like surgery would help fix your fractured ankle. We take what we're offered, and ibuprofen alleviates the pain for now, but it doesn't solve the issue at hand. We need immigration reform. All 11 undocumented immigrants need citizenship now. We're often told to lower our expectations, to be realistic, and ask for less. The reality is that when we do that, we condemn future generations to headaches and trauma like what is occurring with DACA now. We need a united front of DACA recipients, TPS holders, working class immigrant families, and citizen allies to hold the line on bold demands. I was able to participate in the Citizenship for All March back in September in Washington, D.C., and witness various undocumented families march and speak with representatives about immigration reform. I heard folks talk about the various reasons why they deserve citizenship. I have no criminal record. I have a PhD. I work hard. I pay taxes. The dichotomy of good immigrant and bad immigrant has negatively affected the humanity of the immigrant movement. Anyone, regardless of their ability to speak Spanish, make money, or criminal record, deserves access to a pathway to citizenship because immigrants, just like you, are human beings who deserve safety, security, health, and love. Thank you. I'll say it in Spanish. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer a todos los organizadores por hacer posible este evento y por crear este espacio para personas como yo que compartan sus testimonios. Mi nombre es Shayla Castillo, soy una asociada del programa de inmigración y representante del Departamento de Justicia en Siren. También soy hija, hermana, graduada universitaria de primera generación y beneficiaria de DACA. Mi identidad ha sido diseñada en torno a los roles que tengo dentro de mi familia y comunidad. No se define únicamente por mi estatus inmigratorio. He tenido DACA durante 6 años. Por cierto, Gregorio, que habló antes de mí, me ayudó a llenar mi solicitud inicial de DACA en 2017. No estoy segura si él se recuerda, pero yo sí, porque DACA me ha ayudado a llenar el camino para muchas oportunidades en mi carrera educativa y vocacional. Pude graduarme de una universidad de 4 años y trabajar en un lugar donde a su vez puedo ayudar a otros en mi comunidad. Ayudo a dirigir nuestras clínicas mensuales de renovación de DACA, donde ofrecemos solicitud y apoyo financiero para cubrir sus solicitudes de renovación. DACA ha abierto muchas puertas para personas como yo y mis colegas que hablaron hoy, como ya han escuchado, pero sería un error ignorar a mis hermanos y hermanas que no califican para DACA, o aquellos que calificaron, pero debido a la orden del juez de Texas en 2021, que detuvo el programa de DACA, les dio falsas esperanzas de obtener un permiso de trabajo. O más así que los 11 millones de inmigrantes indocumentados que viven en los Estados Unidos esperan que algún día el Congreso piense en ellos. DACA es como una pastilla para el dolor, para un tobillo fracturado. La medicina es solo una solución temporal para algo más serio. Algo como la cirugía ayudaría a reparar su tobillo fracturado. Tomamos lo que nos ofrecen y la medicina alivia el dolor por ahora, pero no resuelve el problema en cuestión. A menudo se nos dice que reduzcamos nuestras vidas, necesitamos una reforma inmigratoria. Los 11 millones de inmigrantes indocumentados necesitan la ciudadanía ahora. Se nos dice que reduzcamos nuestras expectativas, que seamos realistas y que pedíamos menos. La realidad es que cuando hacemos eso, condenamos a las generaciones futuras a dolores de cabeza y traumas como la que está ocurriendo ahora con DACA. Necesitamos un frente unido de beneficiarios de DACA, titulares de TPS, familias inmigrantes de la clase trabajadora y aliados ciudadanos para mantener las demandas audaces. Pude participar en la Marcha de Ciudadanía para Todos en septiembre en Washington, D.C. y fue testigo de la marcha de varias familias indocumentadas y hablaron con representantes sobre la reforma migratoria. Escuché a personas enumerar las diversas razones por las que merecen la ciudadanía. No tengo antecedentes penales, tengo un doctorado, trabajo duro y pago impuestos. La dicotomía del inmigrante bueno y el inmigrante malo ha afectado negativamente la humanidad del movimiento inmigrante. Cualquier persona, independiente de su capacidad para hablar inglés, ganar dinero o antecedentes penales, merece acceder a un camino hacia la ciudadanía porque los inmigrantes como usted y yo Son seres humanos que merecen seguridad, salud y amor. Gracias.
Thank you, Shayla. As we look to our closing, I'd like to invite Marisela Gutierrez from Siren.
Okay. Yes. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. My name is Marisela Gutierrez. I'm the proud executive director of Siren, an immigrant rights advocacy organization here in the Central Valley and in the Bay Area. And we're very proud to hear these stories of local DACA recipients who are making a big impact in their communities. There are DACA recipients, as you've heard, working in all industries, contributing to the fabric of our country, several of whom are working on the front lines during this health crisis, like in healthcare as first responders and essential services. We call on the courts, don't put them at risk during this moment. We call on the Biden administration, halt all deportations. And we say to Congress, during this pandemic, let's stand up for all Americans and create a pathway to citizenship for DACA recipients and all 11 undocumented immigrants residing in this country. DACA recipients were instrumental in the fight to secure the decision that the Supreme Court rendered and will continue to fight against this racist effort. This administration cannot play games with the lives of our communities. DACA has become a contentious policy that on one hand is a lifeline for many young immigrants who are grateful for the opportunity to work and provide for themselves and their families. On the other hand, the majority of undocumented people in the U.S. are left out of any form of relief and are subject to targeting, detention, and deportation by ICE, designed to ruthlessly dehumanize individuals and separate families. We believe that the only solution lies in an all-inclusive, comprehensive immigration reform that provides citizenship for all 11 million undocumented people in the U.S. without any carve-outs for individuals affected by the criminal justice system. Undocumented people are part of our social fabric. They deserve the ability to exist with dignity and to access the resources necessary to survive. According to a new report by Forward.us, for the first time since the program was created in 2012, the overwhelming majority of the country's undocumented high school graduates will be ineligible for DACA. You heard that right, ineligible for DACA. That is a crime. While DACA has been an important protection for over 800,000 young people, we know it has just been a Band-Aid, a small, short-term solution to a long-term problem of an outdated immigration system. As merely a Band-Aid, DACA has been vulnerable to numerous legal challenges over the years, as we see this upcoming court case on July 6th, and has caused young people to live in constant fear and uncertainty. We call on the Biden administration and the Department of Homeland Security for an immediate end to the threat of deportation and the uncertainty of these temporary solutions. All immigrants have human rights and are worthy of safety, self-determination, protection, family unity, and freedom. Congress must do its job to deliver the broad permanent protections for all immigrants with deep ties to the place they call home. The Central Valley is their home. California is their home. U.S. is their home. Congress has a moral obligation to enact change. Immigration reform has overwhelmingly support in battleground states and bipartisan support. What is holding back are both Democrat and Republican agitators that are holding the will of Americans hostage. Progressive legislators must heed the call of the majority of Americans and institute changes that will allow for essential policies to pass. This includes, but is not limited to, passing legislation to end the filibuster. It is imperative now more than ever to connect as a community and organize and to have our voices heard. All around the country, undocumented activists, organizers, parents, children, community are mobilizing to show legislators that we are powerful, we have a voice. We don't want to celebrate another 10-year anniversary. We need to hold Congress accountable and keep organizing to build something that will last. And I'm going to say it in Spanish, so excuse me. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Marisela Gutierrez y soy la directora ejecutiva de Siren. Escuchaste las historias de los beneficiarios locales de DACA, que están teniendo un gran impacto en sus comunidades. Hay beneficiarios de DACA que trabajan en todas las industrias que contribuyen al tejido de nuestro país, varios de cuales están trabajando en primera línea durante esta crisis de salud, como atención médica, socorristas y servicios esenciales. Hacemos una llamada a los tribunales, no los pongan en riesgo en este momento. Hacemos una llamada a la administración de Biden para que detenga todas las deportaciones. Y le decimos al Congreso durante esta pandemia, defendamos a todos los estadounidenses y creemos un camino hacia la ciudadanía para los beneficiarios de DACA y los 11 millones de inmigrantes indocumentados que residen en este país. DACA se ha convertido en una política polémica que por un lado es una salvavidas para muchos jóvenes inmigrantes que agradecen la oportunidad de trabajar y mantenerse a sí mismos en sus familias. Por otro lado, la mayoría de las personas indocumentadas en los Estados Unidos quedan excluidas de cualquier forma de ayuda y están sujetos a ser atacados, detenidos y deportados por una agencia ICE, diseñada para deshumanizar y sin piedad a las personas y separarlas. Creemos que la única solución radica en una forma migratoria integral que proporcione la ciudadanía a 11 millones de personas indocumentadas en los Estados Unidos sin excepciones para las personas afectadas por el sistema de injusticia criminal. Según un informe de Forward.us, por primera vez desde que se creó el programa de DACA en junio de 2012, la gran mayoría de los graduados de secundaria indocumentados del país no serán elegibles para el programa de DACA. Esto es un crimen. Si bien DACA no ha sido una protección importante para más de 800,000 jóvenes, sabemos que solo ha sido una curita, una pequeña solución a corto plazo para un gran problema a largo plazo de un sistema de migración obsoleto. Con una simple curita, DACA ha sido vulnerable a numerosos desafíos legales a lo largo de los años que han causado que los jóvenes vivan con miedo y incertidumbre constantes. El Congreso debe hacer su trabajo para brindar amplias protecciones permanentes para todos los inmigrantes con vínculos profundos con el lugar al que llaman hogar. El Congreso tiene la obligación moral de promulgar cambios. La reforma migratoria tiene un apoyo abrumador en los estados en disputa y tiene un apoyo bipartidista. Lo que lo está frenando son agitadores demócratas y republicanos que mantienen como un rehén la voluntad de los estadounidenses. Los legisladores progresistas deben atender el llamado de la mayoría de los estadounidenses en instituir cambios que permitan la aprobación de las políticas esenciales. Esto incluye, pero no limita, a aprobar legislación para terminar con el obstruccionismo. Es imperativo ahora más que nunca conectarnos como comunidad y organizarnos para que se escuchen nuestras voces. En todo el país, activistas de indocumentados, organizadores, padres y hijos se están movilizando para mostrar a los legisladores que somos poderosos y que tenemos voz. No queremos celebrar otro aniversario de 10 años. Deseamos cambio ahora. Necesitamos responsabilizar el Congreso y seguir organizándonos para construir algo que dure. Ahora queremos cerrar la prensa con unos chants. We want to close off the press conference with some chants. So, cuando yo diga, when I say undocumented, you say unafraid. Undocumented, 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 undocumented. When I say DACA, you say power. DACA, DACA, DACA. When I say DACA, you say power. DACA, DACA. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Thank you very much. This concludes our press conference, and speakers are available for questions, and I'll pass it back to Matias.
Thank you, Marisela. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. We appreciate your time, and if any members of the media would like to speak to any of us, please let us know. Thank you again.